Nigeria's former President Olusegun Obasanjo, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023 and former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi, Aminu Tambuwal and Bishop Matthew Kukah have expressed serious concerns over the recent declaration of emergency rule in Rivers State. Now, this development has sparked widespread debate and criticism, with many questioning the motives behind the decision. It's worth noting that Obasanjo and Obi recently visited Port Harcourt, while the purpose of their visit, was pretty much unclear. It's possible that they were, of course, in show of solidarity with the people of the state as regards the recent developments. Now, I'll be speaking at this time with Hilda Dokubo. She's the chairman of the Labour Party, Rivers State. She joins me virtually. Thank you for your time. All right.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
It's a privilege having you speak with News Central on Politics HQ. Well, let me start by saying that, since the announcement of the state of emergency in Rivers State and the suspension of Governor Simfubara, you've been very vocal as regards this, and you've spoken, on several platforms, highlighting the need for a return to status quo. But let's look at recent developments as since this declaration and the appointment of a sole administrator in the state. We've seen, for instance, the Rivers head of service resign and the new SSG been appointed. There's also the case of the sole administrator requesting that heads of local government in the 23 local government areas submit activities, of their respective councils. I would like you to speak on this recent developments. The sole administrator, for instance, one would have expected that maybe his purview would have been around security matters, but we are beginning to see him, neck deep in the administration of the state. What's your reaction?
Let's just say, from the onset, everything is completely out of order. Nothing is constitutionally right. Appointing, first of all, declaring a state of emergency, and then a sole administrator. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well. We can hear you.
Go ahead?
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, fantastic. So first, the whole thing is wrong. On every basis of being wrong, it is wrong. However, it's been done and ratified by our beautiful National Assembly, because now whatever you say, you are seen only as a hater, not as a Nigerian who loves for things to be done properly. So it makes no sense, truly. One would have thought, since the issue was insecurity, since what the president announced as reason, although now clearly a lie, which people like me are still waiting to know what the punishment would be for the person who sold that lie. Since it was a security issue, and this man is clearly a military person, he should focus on security, but it looks as if he's delving into much more than that. There's a court ruling, a Supreme Court judgment that clearly states that the reason why Fubara was being stopped from touching their location meant for Rivers State was because of appropriation. He had not presented his budget to the House of Assembly and was therefore requested to. So this sole administrator now, what has he presented and what money is he working with without the appropriation? Isn't this going clearly against the rule of law? So it makes no sense. Now, going even further to begin to appoint people and all of that, it looks, too much, not even in the proper place at all. You see, Mr. President was a part of NADECO, and NADECO didn't even, didn't approve of stuff like this. going by some of the things that he had advocated for in the past and seeing him do the exact thing that he advocated against is worrisome, absolutely worrisome. So there's nothing right about it. So him going ahead and doing all of this is almost like somebody doing too much. He's really doing too much.
All right. Now, I mean, as an opposition party in the state, I mean, you lead the Labour Party in Rivers State. For the sake of precedence, what is your party, what are the next line of actions to sort of maybe curb what is already happening?
Okay, so I'll tell you this. You know, when the 27 defected, which of course is the origin of all of this, Labour Party took them to court, and we are still in court with them. Surprisingly, the Supreme Court goes ahead, gives a ruling over an issue that was not before her. So that too is a problem. How does the Supreme Court of Justice, or whatever it is, the judiciary, play that kind of game? Because that's the origin of all of this. You give a judgment that we don't even understand what was before you was appropriation. What you decided to deal with was different. And it is on that grounds that whatever is going wrong now is going wrong. Because people defected. Nigerian Constitution 109 section 1G is clear on that. So, you know, like my lawyer would say, if something is before the court, leave it there until they finish. But you see, that's the origin of what is going on. And so for us, we would always insist on things being right. And on that, we have made our own statements to say, this is every shade of wrong for our democracy. It's looking like our democracy is a drama, like not even a serious drama, like a comedy of errors kind of drama, right? That's what it's beginning to look like. It's beginning to look like. So we're doing our best trying to also sensitize our own people. And we're continuing our party activities. But the truth of the matter is, if you go against the law, we will take it up legally. That's it.
All right. Just before I let you go, let's switch conversations a bit to another prevalent issue, and that has to do with Senator Natasha Akpoti recent developments where, of course, we know that there was recall proceedings, you know, that she be pulled out of the Senate. We saw all of the drama that unfolded, but something, there was a dramatic turn yesterday, you know, at a committee hearing where a Senator, Enwa Ebonyi, and of course, distinguished Obi Ekwesili, sort of got into a bit of verbal altercation, even though the senator did most of the talking. News Central did have, you know, a sit down with the senator. I would like you to watch a bit of that, of his response, you know, as regards Senator Natasha, and, you know, your take on everything we are seeing as regards her case. Take a listen.
Submitting that it's very unfortunate that our women, in particular Obi Ekwesili, who is a notable politician in Nigeria, can come before the whole world to lie. The fact of the matter is that Obi Ekwesili, with her friend, the lawyer to Senator Natasha, was too emotional. Instead of them to attack the facts, you know, by proving the allegation of sexual harassment, they abandoned it to play to the gallery. From the very beginning of the proceedings, they were given the Holy Bible or Quran, as the case may be, for them to take oath, which is in line with the proceedings of Nigerian Senate Committee on Public Petition, being a quasi, you know, body, judicial body. I remember vividly, and is on tape, that Obi Ekwesili says she cannot take oath. The same thing with the lawyer, and the same thing with the petitioner. Then along the line, the petitioner agreed to take oath. And after that, of course, myself as a witness for the respondents also took my own oath. So after hearing from the petitioner, it was time for me to be heard. because the committee will not hear you if you are not on oath. Even before then, there have been, playing some drama, trying to truncate the whole exercise. But we as senators have understood their game. We didn't yield to that. We allowed them, we tolerated their very childlike behaviors. But at the end of the day, after the petitioner have made his case and even failed to adopt his affidavit because he knew he was lying. So it was time for me, to respond to the allegation as a witness for the Senate President. All of a sudden, most unfortunately, obviously said I should shut up my mouth. I said, no, mommy, how can you address me like this? He said, will you shut up your mouth, you hooligan? I said, no, I can't take this.
I mean, you had a bit of what he said in that extensive interview, a bit of extensive interview with News Central. He went further to talk about how at some point, Senator Natasha accused Reno Omokri falsely of harassment and later sort of debunked it. And he also went into a private life, the amount of men she had married and all of that. I mean, I'd like your reaction or response to this and women generally in politics. I mean, what's your take?
Being a woman, first of all, comes with a whole lot of challenges. And then being a female politician is worse. For any female to be within the political space, you have to just prepare yourself for all the mudslinging and every other thing that you can think about, including the sexual harassments. You have to prepare yourself and tell yourself exactly how you're going to handle each of these issues. I'm particularly very proud of Honorable Natasha Akpoti. It takes a lot of guts to stand up to everybody in that room and say she was sexually
But what
harassed.
many of them are saying is that
And
many of the reactions, I'm sorry, man. What many are saying is that many of the reactions are emotional, and not maybe really addressing, the facts or issues.
Isn't sex emotional? Why will I not get emotional if you are trying to prey on a very private part of me? Imagine the audacity of saying the number of husbands. I married one husband, if it didn't work, and I lost another one and remarried. That should say something about me. That should say that I'm a very disciplined person. I would rather be a married woman, be in a home, than be anything else. But for that same reason, everybody is talking. I do the best that I can when in public to contain my own emotions as well, because that's what they say. Women get too passionate. How did that red cap, whatever his name is, know that Natasha is lying, but he's not lying? How did he know that it was a drama that they were? Because all of them there have been lying under oath, every single one of them. You recall that this same incident happened with a Rivers lady, where she even had to post that she's a Port Harcourt girl. And everybody now started asking, what is the meaning of being a Port Harcourt girl? Port Harcourt girl means that you don't take any crap from anybody. You give it back to the person. What was her reaction to the harassment? The thing is, for harassment and abuses, and sometimes even sexual violence, what happens is people hardly believe you. Sometimes they even scold you. But when it goes south and then somebody is killed or is in the hospital or something, that's when people come pretending to care, to ask, how long has this been? Why didn't you say anything? Now she has died. Now she has gone mental and all of that. See, the truth of the matter is that every one of them, including the Senate president, knows the truth that she was harassed. But they do not have the humility to apologize. It's a very simple situation. We're sorry if it came across to you as sexual harassment. That wasn't what was intended. I was only being a friend. How about he comes out to say that, and then one can forgive him, instead of all these sexual biases and gender biases that they are throwing all over the place. And then, of course, having to insult Auntie Obi, that's a case altogether. It just shows his, but I wouldn't even comment on that.
All right, thank you so much for your time on the program. Hilda Dokubo, Chairman, Labour Party, Rivers State, joining virtually from Rivers. Many thanks. Thank you once again for your time, ma.